Hi, it's Michael. To be religious, whether as a Christian, Muslim, Hindu, Buddhist, or whatever, can be beneficial. At the same time, it has its limit. It is not transformative. One can be even lazy. It is easy because it's all mapped out for you, and so it has its very limits. To be spiritual, on the other hand, truly spiritual, can be very challenging. It requires an effort from the mind of the person, and it is very transformative, and it can be transformative all to the peak of spirituality, enlightenment. All the religions are mapped out. The rituals are established, the canons, the beliefs are established, the sacred text, the holy text, scriptures are established. All that is already given. You don't have to do anything, you just have to show up at a temple, church, synagogue, or even if you don't show up at one, you just buy a holy text or listen to something on YouTube, and it's all structured. It's all there for you. No effort is needed. Yes, you may need to or want to do some volunteering, some service to others, which is great. Again, it's not transformative by itself. So the mind of the person can be very comfortable with religion, whatever the religion may be, and it really doesn't lead person very far. It's beneficial if everybody would be truly Christian, truly Hindu, truly Mohammedan, or whatever. Then there would be a peace in this world, which is wonderful. At the same time, the true transformation happens when you go into the depth of your being, and none of the religions lead you there, except perhaps certain forms of Buddhism. So yes, there are all the holy scriptures, holy texts, but as one doctor said, you are as the living book of life, as the holy scripture, living scripture of life. Every individual is different, though of course the main trends or the main patterns, or whatever it can be called, or principles, are common to everyone. So on the spiritual path, you need to go into the depth of your being, and this is done, as it is said, through two things: through wisdom and technique. Wisdom can be looked at as the right information. One needs to be to some degree spiritually educated, unless one has a very good deep internal guidance. If one is sensitive internally and has a good internal guidance, then no texts, no outward information is needed, though probably 99% of people are not that sensitive and need some education, need to acquire some spiritual wisdom. So wisdom is one thing, a technique is another thing. One of the techniques is, for example, meditation. Another technique, as um, said by Dr. David Hawkins, is a contemplation. Another technique is looking at your life, living with awareness, and examining your life based on the wisdom, and then seeing what serves your life in a beneficial way and what can be and should be discarded. This is extremely important. Religions don't require this, they don't need you to this. With religions, you are very comfortably on your periphery, which means in your mind. You are very comfortably in your mind. You read holy scriptures, you sing holy songs, or you chant holy mantras, and yoo-hoo, and it's all wonderful, life is wonderful. Nothing really changes. Nothing really changes. Our spirituality, however, based on the wisdom and on the internal guidance, you need to discern, and you also ask the source of life, whatever you want to call it, the true self, divine love, divine light, God, whatever you want to call it. The name, the label is not important. The important is what is held in awareness, or is asking the ultimate source of existence for help. It is said this is extremely important, because then you're invoking an extremely powerful energy that helps you discern what helps your life and what doesn't help your life. So wisdom and technique. So technique, again, meditation, very important. Living with awareness, doing everything with awareness, extremely important. Looking, analyzing your life, what helps you, what doesn't help you, what is beneficial, based on the spiritual wisdom, and then discarding what is not. For example, letting go of ingesting toxins, letting go of toxicity, extremely important. You may now say, oh duh, of course it is important not to be toxic, but most people are toxic because they drink coffee. What? You want me to stop drinking coffee? Are you crazy? Over my dead body. I have to have coffee in the morning, and maybe throughout the day. I have to have it. Yeah, right. Bullshit. See, this is why people in religions get stuck. They don't get very far. It's non-transformative, because they are not asked. It's not required to get rid of baggage that doesn't serve you well, while in spirituality it's a requirement. So stopping drinking coffee, stopping drinking alcohol, even in super tiny amount, even a little drink of champagne once a year to celebrate New Year or birthday or whatever, it is too much. It's not just the physical alcohol, it's the energy that's behind it that gets into your system through alcohol, through coffee and other toxins, drugs, cannabis, and so on. You let into your universe negative energies, and that is the disaster. That then impacts your discernment, that impacts your connection with the source of life, with the divine, with the true self, whatever you want to call it. And that's a disaster, and it may take a long time to recover from it. So spirituality can be very challenging, because you cannot be lazy. You cannot be lazy. You need to be constantly aware of what you're doing, what you're thinking, what your choices are, and constantly discerning if that what you want to do would serve you well or not, and dropping what wouldn't serve you well, even if it seems like a great loss. Because, as it is said, what seems to be a great loss to the person, which means to the mind, can be actually contributing to an immense freedom and love for the spirit, to the spirit. Now, there are certain healthcare techniques that aid with the inner wisdom, with inner guidance, to have deeper and deeper inner guidance, and also to be able to discern what's helpful to your life and what is not. And I keep on mentioning these ones in my video talks, and they are chiropractic, not to be underestimated. It tunes up your nervous system, and neuro-emotional technique, NET, neuro-emotional technique. Neuro-emotional technique helps detect stuck emotions in your system, and they occur when something that is disharmonious with your system comes into your system. So in that way it helps you detect toxicity and other things. And also you can ask your body through NET via kinesiology whether what you want to do, what you want to ingest, or what you've done, whether that helps you or whether it needs to be discarded. And that can save you sometimes even incarnations, lives on this planet. Instead of going in circles repeating the same mistakes and over, which we tend to do when we don't have the right answers, when we don't have the right wisdom, then this helps you to plow through it. Unfortunately, NET is not available everywhere, and it tends to be rather expensive. But if you can afford to travel to it and to undertake it, it can, as already mentioned, it can save you incarnations. It can be of great help. And if you go to the website netmindbody.com, netmindbody.com, there is a link that says Practitioner Finder or Find Practitioner. You click on it and you can find an interactive map which helps you find doctors that perform NET. There are few in Europe, there are many more in North America, and so on. And that is it for this talk. If there are any questions or comments, they can be left below the video. Wishing you health and joyful life. Michael out.